cycle. So this topic is cascade system. So in this topic, we have two types of cascade system. So unlike dun sa mga una nating na-discuss, it's part of multi-stage compression, which is the multi-compression, and then the other one is multi-evaporator compression, multi-evaporator refrigeration system. So yung last is ito yung didiscuss natin, cascade system. So again, unlike dun sa mga una nating na-discuss, so gumagamit sila ng intercooler, flash intercooler, flash gas removal. So sa multi-evaporator naman, we have two arrangement of expansion valve, can be series or kaya naman can be parallel expansion valve. So nag-iiba yung ng solution natin doon, or flow ng solution. So for this last part naman, we have cascade system. So meron lang tayong dalawang type dito. So meron tayong close cascade system, and then the other one is direct contact. Okay, kasi para lang tayo yung nagsosolve ng dalawang standard vapor compression cycle na magkasama sa iisang system. So para mas madali nyo maintindihan, we'll start discussing this topic. So when we say cascade refrigeration system, this is a combination compression units. So with the condenser of the low temperature system discharging its heat to the evaporator of the high temperature system. So in here, parang yung kung ma-visualize ninyo, so meron tayong dalawang standard vapor compression cycle or dalawang vapor compression cycle na magkasama. So yung unang unit natin or yung condenser ng unang unit is the evaporator ng padalawang unit. So magkadugtong siya. So cascade systems can normally furnish refrigeration down to about -100 degrees Celsius. So there are two types of cascade systems. So meron tayong closed cascade condenser and with the use of direct contact heat exchanger. So ano yung pinagkaiba ng dalawa? So kapag closed cascade condenser, fluids in the high pressure and low pressure system may be different. So hindi sila nagkakaroon ng direct contact. So yung working fluid ng low temperature system is different from the working fluid of the high temperature system. So pero pwede namang magkapareho, pero hindi sila nagsasama or hindi nagko-combine. So merong magkahiwalay na pipes para dun sa dalawa. So in the direct contact heat exchanger naman, so you have the same fluid is used through the system. So yung direct contact heat exchanger type is the most common used. So in a direct contact heat exchanger, meron tayong parehas na fluid. Kasi again, with the term itself, direct contact, yung ating working fluid ng low temperature system dun sa high temperature system is nagsasama. Or nagkakaroon ng direct contact. Okay, so para mas madali ninyong maintindihan, so meron tayo dito discussion for closed cascade condenser and syempre for direct contact heat exchanger. So let's say closed cascade condenser. So makikita nyo na merong different na flow temperature system dun sa ating high temperature system. Kita ba yung cursor ko? Kita ba? Pa-confirm naman.
Yes po.
Okay, so again, magkaiba, yung working fluid. In most cases, yung ating closed cascade condenser. So magkaiba yung working fluid for low temperature system, magkaiba dun sa high temperature system. So ibig sabihin, you need to check muna yung refrigerant in both system in low and high temperature system para alam nyo kung paano siya kukuhanin doon sa table. Kasi baka mamaya sa isang okay, and syempre, it has its connection with the low and high temperature. So, meaning kapag meron kayong nakuhang maling value, so possible na magkaroon din ng mali dun sa ibang values. Okay, so dito naman, meron tayo ditong derived formulas for this closed cascade condenser, but hindi ko naman ito nare-recommend na tandaan nyo. Okay, so again, so as long as you know on how to do energy balance in each component, then there will be no problem. So again, lagi namang sa evaporator nagkakaroon ng QA or nandoon yung ating refrigerating effect. Sa condenser naman, meron tayong heat rejected. But in this case, meron tayong cascade condenser. So it works as a condenser dun sa low temperature system, but it acts as evaporator dun sa ating high temperature system. So how are we going to compute for the masses in each cascade or in each system? So since meron tayong dalawang vapor system or vapor compression system. So you can do energy balance naman dito sa ating cascade condenser. So for you to do that, then you have to draw yung component natin, which is the cascade condenser, and then lagay nyo yung mga energy flowing into the system and those energy that is flowing out on the system. So lagyan nyo lang siya ng arrow and then do the energy balance. Energy in is equal to energy out. Pero dito, nagkabaliktad lang naman, naging energy out is equal to energy in. But again, same lang din naman yun. Okay, so if M5 yung hahanapin, then you can do this. If M1 naman, ay di baliktad. So as long as you derive this formula, then there will be no problem solving kung aling mass yung kukuhanin. Yung mass ba ng high temperature or yung mass ba ng low temperature. Since masses ng state point 1, 2, 3, 4 is the same since it is working in one system, yung masses ng 5, 6, 7, and 8 is also equal, kasi it's just flowing in and out of a certain component. So, meaning you can let yung nasa baba as M1, and then the high temperature as M5. So, for power naman ng low compressor, energy balance lang tayo dun sa compressor. So, energy balance lang dun sa ating compressor and then energy balance din dito sa pangalawa. Okay, so it will give us this component. So, for the work 1, so M1 times the change in temperature, change in enthalpy H2 minus H1. And then for work 2 naman is mass 5 multiplied by H6 minus H5. Okay? So, for total compressor, you have to add. So, in terms of the pH diagram pala nitong ating closed cascade condenser, magkakaroon din kayo ng separate na pH diagram. So, one is for low temp system and then the other one is for the high temp system. So, para mas madali nyo siyang masolve. So, kung mapapansin nyo, again, para nagsosolve lang kayo ng dalawa. Na vapor compression cycle. Okay, clear ba tayo dito? So, since this one is just like standard vapor compression cycle, I will let you na mismo to solve this problem. But first, can you please read this slide K? Yung ating problem number 1. Can you read this?
Problem number 1. A cascade refrigerating system uses refrigerant 22 in a low temperature unit and refrigerant 12 in the high temperature unit. The system develops 28 kilowatts of refrigeration at negative 40 degrees Celsius. The refrigerant 12 of the Refrigerant 12 system operates at negative 10 degrees Celsius evaporating and 38 degrees Celsius condensing temperature. There is a 10-degree overlap of temperature in the cascade condenser. Calculate A. The mass flow rate of the refrigerant 22, B. The mass flow rate of the refrigerant 12, C. The power required by the refrigerant 22 compressor, and D. The power required by the refrigerant 12 compressor.
Okay, so again in this, meron tayong dalawang refrigerant. So low temperature refrigerant natin is R22. Low temperature unit natin, ang working fluid natin is R22, and then for high, we have R12. So the system develops 28 kilowatt refrigerant at negative 40. So alin ba yung negative 40 natin? So ito yung ating low vapor. So yung isa naman, system operates at negative 10 degrees Celsius and 38 condensing temperature. So again, yun nga, parang dalawang standard vapor compression cycle. So there's 10 degree overlap kasi yung ating condenser working sa low temperature unit, yung condenser natin is at 0 degrees Celsius while the other one is negative 10. So kaya meron tayong 10 degrees overlap. Okay, so calculate the R22, R12, and then yung work ng low temp at work ng high temp. Okay, so I'll give you 20 minutes to solve this problem. Is that clear? Clear ba?
Yes po.
Okay. So again, we'll discuss this after 20 minutes. So while I'll give you time to solve this problem, meron ba kayong questions sa design project?
Ma'am, ano po, next week na nga po.
Yung submission?
Apo.
Yung makakapag-submit next week, mag-submit. Pero bibigyan ko kayo ng time until week 16 na Friday. So, big sabihin, di ba ang week 16 natin ay Saturday, Sunday naman yung counted dun sa subject natin. Naintindihan?
Apo.
Yun na yung start ng presentation dapat. So, I will give you time until Friday.
Thank you po, ma'am.
Okay. Ng week 16. So, again, week 16 start tayo ng presentation. And then, isa pa is, naulit ko din naman na magkakaroon kayo ng video presentation as preparation for the week mismo ng design project presentation. Parang i-video nyo na siya. Naulit ko ba? Anyone?
Yes po, ma'am.
Yes po, ma'am.
Ayun. So I'll give full details regarding the video para makapag-prepare kayo next week na para alam nyo kung gaano siya katagal. Kasi pagka live pa, magkakaroon ng or mapuputol lang connection ng internet, merong member na hindi makaka-join kasi walang internet. So, ayun, para at least you're aware na dun sa magiging flow ng inyong presentation. So, prepared na dapat yung video para doon. Okay? Pataas naman ako ng kamay kung clear tayo doon. Okay, hands down. Meron ba kayong tanong? Other question? Any questions sa design project? So ito pala is natanong dun sa ibang section. Sa first section kanina. So kung para at least mas mapili ninyo yung performance ng mga alternatives na ginawa nyo, if meron kayong mga alternative refrigerant na napili as part of the selection ng refrigerant based dun sa application na paggagamitan ninyo, so I suggest na isang refrigerant na lang sa lahat ng alternative para at least talagang mapipili nyo doon Pero if you're working with this type of, yung cascade, di naman naiiwasan na isang refrigerant lang yung magagamit. Pero, again, yung alternative refrigerant naman is matatest nyo din yung coefficient of performance ng buong system para maging same value lang din naman yung makukuha. I mean, magkakaroon ng pagkakaiba, since magkaiba yung refrigerant. Pero, in terms of the performance, mapipili natin or mas madali tayong makakapili pag pare-parehas na refrigerant yung ginamit ninyo. So magiging constant siya in all calculation. Clear ba tayo doon? Pero if makakapag-present kayo ng other alternative, pwede naman kayong hindi na mag-provide ng computations para doon. Kahit isa na lang na refrigerant ang gamitin all throughout. Pero again, kailangan nyo din mag-provide ng alternative refrigerant. Di kahit na lang. Yung ways of selection na lang yung ipakita nyo doon. And yung pinaka-maayos or yung alam niyo na mas suited na refrigerant yung gamitin doon sa mga calculations, which is again same for all alternative. Naintindihan ba?
Yes po.
Okay. May question pa ba kayo regarding the side project? Question, clarification. Hindi ako nakapagbigay ng time last week kasi parang sobrang hirap ng topic natin. No? So, at least ngayon, still have time to talk about your questions regarding the side project while solving this problem. So, if meron kayong tanong or yung group niyo is may tanong, type nyo lang dito sa in-call messages yung group number na may question para sa sunod na sample problem is bigyan ko kayo ng time na magtanong. Okay? So again, we'll discuss this at exactly this problem. Kindly share your answer dun sa ating messenger. So once you're done, kindly take a picture of your solution and then upload it dun sa ating GC. And then we'll discuss. Okay, so I'll give you time until, ano ba oras? Until 9:10. No. Okay? Okay, hello. May nakapagsagot na ba? Pataas naman ako ng kamay. So, meron dito nag-share from Vince, Leonard, and then the other one is from Aldrich, Brazil. How about yung iba?
Nagre-rewrite lang po.
Okay, so okay lang na hindi i-rewrite. So, as long as meron kayong sagot, picturean na lang para hindi kayo yung sa problem set na lang yung linawan ng sulat. Okay, so we have your answer, and tama naman to. So again, para lang tayong nagsosolve ng dalawang vapor compression cycle, standard vapor compression cycle in this case. So the first vapor compression or standard vapor compression is working at -40 and 0 condensing temperature, and then the other one is -10 evaporating temperature and 38 degrees naman yung condensing temperature. So, okay. Kindly discuss your answer, pero iba yung naka-paste dito sa ating lecture na sagot from O1, pero same naman yung nakuhang answer. Same naman lahat ng nakuha. Okay, kindly discuss this, Vince. Share ko na lang dito. Okay, pa-discuss na lang ako ng naging flow ng solution. Vince.
Okay po. Bale yung naggawa po ng dalawang pH diagram, yung sa low temp po at saka sa high temp. Sa low temp po yung R22, to sa high temp yung R12. So, meron po tayong QA na 28 kilowatts sa low temp. Tapos yung para po sa pagkuha ng mga enthalpy sa H1 po, kukuhanin po natin yung Hg sa -40 degrees Celsius, which is 388.609 kilojoules per kilogram. And kukuhanin din po yung entropy Sg sa -40, which is equal po sa S2. Na value po ay 1.82504 kilojoules per kilogram Kelvin. And then, para po makuha yung H2, kukuhanin po natin yung H dun sa may figure po na equal po sa yung pressure to at 0 degrees Celsius, which is 497.59 kPa, at sa entropy po na 1.82504. Tapos ang nakuha po ay H2 ay 426 kilojoules per kilogram. Sa H3 po, equal po siya sa H4 at HF na 0 degrees Celsius, which is 200 kilojoules per kilogram. For high temp naman po, yung H5 po is equal sa Hg at -10 degrees Celsius, which is 347.134 kilojoules per kilogram. And kukuhanin po natin yung S5 na equal din po sa S6 at Sg at -10 degrees Celsius. At ang value po ay 1.5597 kilojoules per kilogram Kelvin. Tapos yung H6 po ay makukuha sa pressure sa 0.6, which is at pressure at 38 degrees Celsius, which is 914.23 kPa, at yung S po nakuha kanina 1.5597. At base po sa figure po ay yung nakuha pong H6 ay 372 kilojoules per kilogram. Sa H7 naman po, equal siya sa H8 na sa HF at 38 degrees Celsius. So ang value po ay 236.510 kilojoules per kilogram. Tapos sa pagkuha po ng M1, may given po na QA. Bali, ang formula po ay QA over H1 minus H4. 28 kilowatts over 388.609 minus 200. Ang value po ay 0.148455269 kilogram per second. So yun, naging po ay 4 decimal lang po. Tapos para man po ako ang M5, nag-energy balance po dun sa may cascade condenser. So E in is equal to E out. So bale, M1H2 plus M5H8 is equal to M1H3 plus M5H5. Tapos nag-rearrange lang po ng values para makuha po yung formula na M5 is equal to M1 times H2 minus H3 over H5 minus H8. Tapos yun, nag-substitute lang po and value po ay 0.3033 kg per second. Tapos yun naman po, para sa work po sa low temp ng compressor, formula lang po ay M1 times H2 minus H1. Tapos nag-substitute lang po ng mga nakuhang value. Ang nakuha po sa WC1 ay 5.5509 kilowatts. And sa WC2 naman po, sa high temp, H5 times M5 times H6 minus H5. Tapos ang nakuha pong value ay 7.5416 kilowatts.
Okay, so pataas naman ako ng kamay kung sino nakakuha ng same answer dito sa na-discuss ni Vince. So from our GC, we have answer from K, which is the same. So yung sagot ni Vince.
May discrepancy lang po.
Okay, so depende yun sa nagamit niya na output enthalpy sa compressor. So as long as pasok naman doon sa range ng tolerance natin, which is +2 -2, then tama din naman yung mga naging sagot. So we also have answer from Rose, Diane. Okay, so and from Van and Almac. So make sure lang na kasama to sa mga notes na ipapasa ninyo. Okay? So next naman, let's discuss this direct contact cascade condenser. So again, the main difference is that for closed cascade system or using closed cascade condenser, there is no direct contact, or the working fluid working in the low temperature and high temperature system has no direct contact. So separate pa din yung flow the operation dumadaan sa cascade condenser. But in this direct contact cascade condenser, so nagkakaroon ng direct contact doon sa loob mismo ng cascade condenser. Kaya in this type of problem, we're only using one type of refrigerant working at low and higher temperature. But those values or those masses that is flowing in the low temperature and high temperature naman is syempre depende kung ano yung makukuha using heat balance. Or minsan given din siya. Or minsan binibigay mismo yung QA dito, sa low temperature system para may makuha kang mass, and then again, ulit heat balance. Okay, so ang pinakaiba lang dito is if walang binigay na info dun sa ating direct contact cascade condenser. So for direct contact, we can compute for the intermediate pressure. Kagaya ng paggamit ng intercooler. No. So, sa paggamit ng intercooler, nagkakaroon din tayo or naghahanap din tayo ng intermediate pressure. So, parang ganun din. Ang pinakaiba lang is hindi na natin need i-test yung work ng compressor doon sa compressor 1 doon sa compressor 2. So, in computing for the intermediate pressure, can directly substitute the saturation pressure of the given evaporating temperature and multiply it with the saturation pressure of the given condensing temperature. And then, hanapin nyo lang square root. And then, yun na yung inyong pwedeng gamitin na intermediate pressure. So, that is already, yung intermediate pressure natin is already the pressure at 0.2, 5, and 8, and at 0.3, since meron tayong constant pressure based on our pH diagram. So once you obtain the value of the intermediate pressure, so yung property ng pressure, you can use it at 8.5, 8, and 3 in this case. Or in this given diagram, system diagram and pH diagram. So in order for you to get the masses, you can compute it through heat balance on the direct contact cascade condenser. So you have to take note that the mass flowing in the low temperature system is constant all through the components kahit pa pumasok siya ng direct cascade condenser. Yun din yung amount ng mass na lalabas. Same with doon sa high temperature natin. So kung ano yung papasok at 0.8, yun din lalabas at 0.5. So as you can see, based on our note, yung M1 is equal to M2 is equal to M3 is equal to M4 for low temperature system. Yung atin naman na mass 5 is equal to mass 6, equal din siya sa mass 7, and 8 for high temperature system. So ano yung pinagkaiba lang dito is yung pagkuha ng ating intermediate pressure. Is that clear? And also for direct cascade condenser, magkasama na yung kanyang diagram sa isang pH diagram. Unlike kapag close, so mas okay na magkaiba. Naintindihan? Clear ba tayo dito sa direct contact cascade condenser? Any question? Okay, so I'll give you also sample problem. So try to solve this problem again. Kindly read this, Eric.
Problem 2. In a certain refrigeration system for low temperature application, a two-stage operation is desirable which employs ammonia system that serves a 30-ton evaporator at negative 30 degrees Celsius. The system uses a direct contact cascade condenser and the condenser temperature is 40 degrees Celsius. Find the following. First, A, sketch the schematic diagram of the system and draw the complete process on the pH diagram. B, the cascade condenser pressure in kPa for minimum work. C, the mass flow rate in low and high pressure loops in kilogram per second. D, the total work.
Okay, so again, yung given natin dito is a direct contact cascade condenser. So meaning this may binigay sa atin na 30-ton evaporator at negative 30. So it is working at negative 30 and condensing pressure of 40. So since we will be obtaining the value of the intermediate pressure or the property and the cascade condenser mismo. So ibig sabihin yung given sa atin is So, ang given sa atin is, itong andito ito, and then yung ating condensing temperature. So, nakalagay dito, ay kukuhanin ninyo yung schematic diagram of the system and you will also draw the complete process on the pH diagram. So, yun muna ang unahin. And then, kung mapapansin nyo, same naman siya. So, same lang siya dito. So, pwede nyo i-input na lang yung value dyan. And then, you'll also be computing for the cascade condenser pressure in kilopascal for minimum work. And then, you'll also be getting the mass flow rate in low and high temperature or high pressure loop and the total work. Okay, so again, I'll give you 20 minutes max para ma-discuss pa natin siya in 10 minutes. Okay? Mataas naman ako ng kamay kung clear tayo sa problem na to. Okay, so ibig sabihin, for you to get the values, at this pressure line, so meaning, kailangan yung makuha yung intermediate pressure para magkaroon kayo ng property dito. So, pag nakakuha kayo ng intermediate pressure at 0.2583, equal yan dito sa P2 na makukuha ninyo. So, you can also get all the enthalpies at each state point. Na same sa pagkuha dun sa mga previous problems. Okay? And then, yun, energy balance lang tayo. So, again, I'll give you 20 minutes to solve this problem. Okay, hello. May nakatapos ba sa problem na ito?
Mali po kung nasagutan mo.
Okay. Mali ang nasagutan. So meaning, ano lang siya, direct. I mean, yung sinagutan nyo is close. Tama ba? Tama?
I mean, ma'am, ibang problem po kung nasagutan.
Oo nga. Yung close nga, ito. Yung close condenser ang nasagutan nyo. Tama ba?
Yes. Ayan po. Ay, Opo, ma'am, yan nga po.
Opo, yan po yung
Wait. Pero itong sinagutan ni Aldrich is tama na itong problem na to. Hindi ko pala nalipat. Ito, tama no? Kasi based sa solution niya is ito yung kanyang nasagutan. No? Tama ba?
Opo, ma'am.
Yes po, ma'am.
Okay, check ko lang kung tama ba ito. So, about A, B, C is mga masses, no? So, I'll check muna 0.09. Siguro ibang nagamit na. Okay, so pa-discuss na lang ako nitong sagot dito. Ang D ay, nasaan na? Nasaan sagot mo sa D, Aldrich?
Yung ano po, ma'am, yung work po. Yung sa
Ay,
29
total na. Tama naman yung mga values na nakuha, pero bakit nag-iba dun sa ano? Wait. Medyo malayo dun sa ano. Okay, sino pang nag-try mag-solve ng problem na to? Pataas naman ako ng kamay. Anong nakuha niyong H2? Okay, ano na lang natin. Pa-discuss na lang ulit. Okay, yung sinagutan nyo na problem, isama nyo na lang siya dun sa problem set. Ano? Pero tama ba yung ano nyo, yung flow ng solution para dun sa problem na, problem number 2 dun sa lecture nyo? Ginawa nyo siyang close cascade condenser. Pataas naman ako ng kamay kung sinong nag-solve sa kanya ng as close cascade. Hello? So, tingnan natin itong isang sagot pa dito from Rose Diane. Okay, so this answer is from Rose. Okay, so ito. Okay, Rose Diane. Tama naman yung solution ni yung mga ginamit na formulas ni Aldrich. Nagkaroon lang tayo ng discrepancy sa paggamit ng H2. So, nagamit niya na H2 is 1,580. Pero yung sa atin is 1,600. So, kindly double check na lang dun sa part na yon. So kung 1,600 din yung talagang lalabas doon. So, again, be cautious of getting enthalpies, lalo na kapag sa chart kayo titingin. So, Diane, can you please discuss this problem? So, ito is lang, pero this value at 1557 kPa is HF, which is H7. Naintindihan ba itong may takip na to? And then same naman yung nakuha niyang sagot dito. Okay, pa-discuss naman ako ng sagot na to. Ayan.
Yung una po is gagawa po ng schematic diagram. So, according po sa problem, ang ating pong temperature po sa evaporator ay negative 30 degrees Celsius, which is equal to 119.90 kPa. Doon naman po sa ating condenser, meron po tayong 40 degrees Celsius, which is equal to 1557 po. Then, ang una po is kukunin nyo intermediate pressure or minimum work, which is equal po sa square root ng P1 tsaka ng P6. So, ang nakuha po natin is 432 kPa. Then, yun po yung gagamitin natin para makuha yung H2. So, for H1 muna po, yung Hg po sa negative 30 degrees Celsius, which is 1422.86. Then, yung pong nakuha pressure po natin na P2 is gagamitin po to get the H2. So, H po at 432, then equal po yung S2 sa S1 natin from H1, which is 1,600 kilojoule kilogram. Then yung H3 to H4 naman po, makukuha po siya from HF1 ng 4, ang HF po ng 432 na KPA, which is makikita po sa table po sa saturated po, which is in-interpolate ko po ang akin. Kaya ang nakuha ko po is ganyan din po sa 200.47 kilojoule kilogram. Then yung H5 naman po is equal po sa Hg nung pressure to po na kinuha natin kanina. So ang sagot po is 1461.81 kilojoule kilogram. Then makukuha din po dyan yung ating S5, which is equal sa S6, which is gagamitin natin para mukha yung H6 at pressure 1557, which is equal to 1638 kilojoule kilogram. Then, yung pong H7 is equal to H8, which is makukuha sa HF1 ng pressure 1557 kPa or at 40 degrees Celsius, which is equal sa 390.59. Then, para makuha po yung mass sa 1 po is yung QE po natin, which is 30 TR. I-convert po natin yun, kaya ita-times sa 3.52. All over po yung H1 minus H4. So, makuha po nating M1 ay 0.0864 kilogram per second. Tapos po, sa lower temperature system po, equal pong M1 to M2, M3, at M4. For high temp system naman po, M5 is equal to M6, M7, and M8. Then, mag-energy balance po tayo sa heat exchanger. So, makuha po natin is M5, H5 plus M3. H3 is equal to M8, H8 plus M2, H2. So, shift solve po natin. So, makuha po natin M5 ay 0.1129 kilojoule kilogram per seconds. Then, makuha naman po natin ang work po sa lower compressor po, which is equal sa M1 times quantity H2 minus H1. Substituting po, ang nakuha na po natin ay 15.31 kilowatts. Then, sa high compressor naman po, M5 times quantity H6 minus H5, substitute, makuha po natin ay 19.89. Then, pag-add lang po yung dalawa, which is equal to 35.20 kilowatts.
Okay, thank you, Nick. So I hope naging malinaw din itong problem na to. So ang pinakaiba lang is gumamit tayo ng intermediate, yung pagkuha ng intermediate pressure, and we use that intermediate pressure to get properties at state point, ito, 2, 5, 8, and 3. Kasi again, meron tayong constant pressure dito sa ating direct contact heat exchanger. So thank you, Neng Rose, for explaining this problem. So pataas naman ako ng kamay kung clear tayo sa problem na to. Okay, so para malinaw yung ating problem set for this cascade system will be this problem. Pa-screenshot na lang, ito yung sinagutan nyo. So kung mapapansin nyo, this one is a closed cascade kasi gumamit tayo ng dalawang type ng refrigerant, which is R12 and ammonia. No, so pa-screenshot naman ako, and then pa-screenshot ako din nito. So this is also a cascade. So yun, bale yung sample problem natin for direct is isa lang, and then yun, try to analyze then yung naging sample problem natin kasi wala naman yung pinagkaiba dun sa dito. Ano? Okay. Pa-screenshot na lang ako. This is number 2 ng problem set part 3. And then this is yung number 1 ng problem set part 3. So again, yung problem set 2 natin, for this, after ng midterm, meron na tayong tatlong part. So meron na tayong total of 5 problems dun sa ating problem set. Okay? So since nagsama na yung dalawang problem set natin, give you time para dun sa part 2 na until Friday. And then we'll be using tomorrow discussion naman or yung tomorrow na time natin to solve yung mismong cascade na. Okay? Is that clear?